Okay, I think we have the setup to go ahead now. The folks who are online, can you hear me? I don't hear you guys. Yes. Oh, okay. We can hear you. Okay. So let's go to the program where we last ended. So we spoke about access. We can concatenate it using the access. Do you have any questions from that? Anyone? They can go on. Alright. So we visualized access yesterday. So I'm reloading our data set again. We reloaded the data set. So I see that you are not available in the last class. Did you get the video?
Yes, sir. Emails.
Did you get the video?
No, sir.
So we shot the video, and yesterday also Sashi said you were not available. Right? So we have the video. We have somehow it's not getting uploaded. We will try to send across the link to you today.
Okay.
So if you are going to taking leave, so let us. If you are going to be absent for any of the classes, let us know so that we can shoot the video for you and share it. So you can refer it if you want to know what happened in that class.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's look at this. Okay. So they are doing meaning of fair and age. Okay. When I do mean of fair and age, how many values would I get here? So that is fair and age will mean I'm doing it across axis 1. Axis 1 now get the values over.
First column.
Sorry?
First column.
First
column.
அப்படிங்க சென்டென்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காலம்னு சொல்றீங்க கேக்குறீங்க
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் column கேக்குறேன்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காலமா அது கேக்குறீங்களா?
Axis 1.
ஆக்சஸ் 1 தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காலமா கேக்குறீங்களா?
First column is
ஆக்சஸ் 1 ஓகேங்களா? ரெண்டு காலம் ஆட் பண்றோம். என்ன ரெண்டு காலம்? fair and age. அதுக்கு நீங்க கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க ஆக்சிஸ் 1ல அப்படின்னா எத்தனை வேல்யூஸ் வரும் அப்படின்னு கேட்குறேன். 2 வேல்யூஸ் எப்படி ஃபார் ஆக்சிஸ் ரிமோட் போகலாம் கற்றுக்கல
அந்த டேட்டா
அது மட்டும் சிம்பிளான கொஷின் இந்த டேட்டா. ஸோ இதில் ஃபேர் ஏஜ் இங்கே இருக்குது, ஃபேர் இங்கே இருக்குது. கற்றுக்கவே இல்லை புதுசு கற்றுக்கல இப்படி வரும். அப்போ சரி ஆக்சஸ் ஈக்குவல் 0 போட்டால் Jenny, can you
so one value or no?
For access is equal to 1, we get 5 values.
one மட்டும் sorry please.
Access 1 right side
Okay. I'll come to that. Yeah, with your US saying some answer.
For access equal to 1, we get 5 values, sir.
Okay, so if you consider only what is there on the screen, then 5 values. But this database has 1,309 rows. So you will get 1,309 values. Okay, let me show you. Then I will show you. You see 1,309 values. Let me come look here. So I agree. Look at this. This age, in a fare. If you do axis equal to 0, then you are doing it in this direction. But axis equal to 0, has no values. We have two values. We will take mean like this. So the first mean would be 42.3. Fair 255.1. Vertical another axis equal to 0 across rows. 0 polynomial rows which are 0. Okay, the rows are average mean. So axis equal to 0. Axis equal to 1 in the direction mean. So this is that value. So this is not even color this is horizontal axis equal to 1. Okay. Yugamithras as you were not there, so you might not understand this fully. But again, I will share my video. So we discussed this at length yesterday. Alright, so now we are going forward. Axis, we will you have to understand. If not, when I share the video, I'm going to send this to the group. So if you want to have a relook at what we learned yesterday, you could do that. Now, what I'm doing is, I'm calculating, what am I calculating in this? Sweta, what am I calculating in this? Bracket pull up not first part, df dot what?
Mean.
Okay, we are calculating mean. So df dot mean, what I draw? So you cannot, it is not working because there are a lot of non-zero values in this. Okay. So now what I am doing is df dot mean, I am giving a condition. The condition is numeric underscore only equals to, that means it is checking all the values which to see if there are again numbers. So only if it is a number, the value will be considered and the mean will be taken. So that is this value. So we just taken only the numbers. Within passenger class also, if there are some values which are non-numeric in nature, then that is not going to be considered for this. Okay, so now we are going to perform some Boolean operations. Now let's look at this. I'm selecting one column. What is the column which I'm selecting, Arud? What is the column I'm selecting? Please. What is the column I'm selecting? Sorry, very good, right? It's a passenger class. So I'm not just selecting passenger class, I'm also giving a condition there. Equal to. What that means is passenger class is 1. Only those values we are displaying. So now what it means is when you just do this, passenger class equal to, it checks whether passenger class is equal to or not. Every rolling body is checking whether passenger class is equal to 1 or not. So the first passenger, the passenger class is first class. That way it says true. Now you go down. The passenger whose record is 1304, that passenger class is not 1. So it shows false. So in the value number 14, this only does this comparison. The comparison of the output is going to be always Boolean, true or false. Okay. Now, okay, so do you understand what happened there? I am just making a comparison whether the passenger class is 1 or not. Now, what happens in this? Sasi, could you tell me? So, I am making a comparison of
Age is
greater than 70 or
so age is greater than 70.
yes. And so the output n or age is greater than 70, how would the output be?
The age is greater than 70.
It will evaluate every age whether it is greater than 70 or not. So the output would be true or false. Okay. So that output I'm showing is new underscore df. And if you run this new underscore df, if you display it is correct.
Friends, we didn't give any condition to get true or false, then everything in the true or false.
That's a comparison. So, okay, so we should do this. The comparison is, let's say, df underscore age greater than 70. So I'm just showing this. What it means is the age greater than 70. So if I'm asking a question like this, what will be the answer to this question? There are only two possibilities, right? What will be the answer to this question?
You give person which their age greater than 70.
No. What I'm saying is, when I do this comparison, when I ask you a question, did you have your breakfast today?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Are you feeling good today? Yes or no? So the responses to that are binary. There is no maybe. So there is certainty. So we say for sure something exists, something doesn't exist, 0 or 1. There is no midway. So yes or no translates to true or false. So when I write a program like this, the statement like this, df is greater than 70, we are asking if it is greater than 70 or not. So the output further is going to be yes or no. So which is what you are seeing here. Output further is yes or no. But we don't want that. What am I going to do with only yes or no? We don't want that, right? Rather, I want to display the values of the rows where the age is greater than 70. Yes or no, sure. So, but then look at this comparison. Firstly, I am checking if the age is greater than 70. It is same as what we saw in the previous condition. Now I am adding another df. So look at, okay. See, when you simply type df, what happens? You have a data frame like this. So the entire data frame will be displayed. That's what happens when you simply type df. So let's check. So when I simply type df, it simply displays. Then what I'm doing is what do I have now?
Should print
So it will print only that column. only brings the record. Then, so what it means is when I add something in this, it brings that. It filters that information. So now if I'm adding df, within the df, adding age greater than 70. So it first evaluates to true or false. First, overall true or false evaluate. எந்தெந்த ரோஸ்லாம் ட்ரூ வருதோ அதை மட்டும் it prints this. It displays only true rows. So if you go here, it displays true rows. What it means true rows? It is not displaying only the passenger information where passenger's age is greater than 70. Okay. Now let's look at this. DF name equals Walter. And then arbitrarily I got DF. Okay. So let's before that let's check. Firstly, I'm just taking DF name equals Walter. When I do this, it is going to check across the rows if the row value, if the name is Walter or not. Then true, false, not okay. And then I am displaying only the cases where name is matching Walter. So only this two is valid. So there are two DFs here for that reason. The first DF is giving the condition and which will give me true or false values. The second gear, which is outside, displays only the true values. Okay. Are we clear? So if you look at this program, everything up to this is familiar to us. It's a data frame which has 3 columns: name, age, salary, and grade. Now what I'm doing is DF, instead of making a comparison, there is already a ready-made comparison. It's called is null. Is null. Is null means the value is not present in that row. That is called is null. There is nothing inside. So df.isNull would filter the rows where there is no value. Okay. Now let's look at the column, the table. Yugamitra, do you see any row where there is no value? Do you see where there is no value? Do you see any place like that? Any cell, column, row where there is no value? Okay, which one? The last name is not there, second age, third salary. So we are supposed to filter all that and storing missing values. Now let's check. So what it does is it evaluates if there is null or not and it stores the evaluation. So name, third, last one, age, second one, salary, third one. That's right. So if there is really null, then it evaluates to true. Null value becomes false. Okay. Then the other one is NA. This also gives us null, no values, not available. Okay. So is NA. Okay. So is NA is also showing something like this. So is null the opposite is not null. So if there is no information present in some cell, is null will tell true. Not null will be opposite, it will say false. So the exact opposite of the not null. Is NA or null? Is NA not NA? They are opposites. Okay. So this is not NA. Not NA now. Not available. Not available. Okay, so let's look at this. Not NA values. Not NA values. How many children? What values is not NA value means? Not NA true or not NA values. Okay? Not NA true or not NA values. And checking if it is equal to not null values. So not NA values, not null values, they are the same. Are you getting it? Is it confusing?
Is it another method for null?
Is NA is null. The opposite of the letters. So this is opposite of not null, not NA. So let's go back to our data frame. Give me a moment. I type as malfunction. Meanwhile, if you have any questions to discuss on this, you can do that. Clear my rules.
Right. Is this syntax?
Okay. So we are firstly checking age is greater than 0. The response to this will be true or false.
Yeah.
And then this df should be closed. That is not closed. Yes, that should be closed. You are opening 2 square brackets or only closing 1. That is correct. Yes. Okay, finally it's working. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so let's consider this table, this data frame we have. This is a median sample data frame we are working with. So let's firstly identify the null values. So in this data frame, the null values are present here, here, and here. Okay, so you have null values present in this. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to apply some checks. The first one is null. So now let's go to is null where we have done. Okay. So when I do is null, then what happens? It is going to okay. Let me show you this. So firstly it checks whether something is null or not. So this is not null, so it will become false, false, false. So in this there are some truths. So this is true, this is true, this is true. Okay. You understand how we got this? Now the same thing will happen is in neighbors. You have is in neighbors, the same. Now the inverse would happen if you go for this. That would be like this is. This is false. 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 Okay. Do we understand how this program is working? Is null, is ending. Not null, not ending. Any questions on this? People who are online? If you understand this. Alright, so let's move on. We will do some more question, exercises in this. We will really then get a better understanding. Okay. So now what am I doing? I'm going to our Titanic data frame. I'm checking cabin information. Cabin is the berth or the cabin which was allocated to them. And I'm checking if cabin information is available or not. Okay. Is null or not. So when I do this, when cabin information is present for somebody, then it will return true or false.
False.
Okay, there you go. So if the cabin information is present for somebody, it is going to give false. Now I am doing DF of this. So I am going to get some rows. So who are those people? Who are those people?
Those who have cabin.
Those who don't have cabin.
Yeah.
I am filtering the people where cabin is null. That means these are the people who don't have cabin. See? Cabin information is not present for these people. Is null, same thing. So cabin is null. So this means we are finding people who have not been allotted cabins. So these people don't have cabin information. If I do not null, then I'm going to find the people who have cabins. So this has cabin. These people have cabins. So here what am I doing? Firstly, DF.cabin I am checking not null. That means these people have cabin information and I am putting it in cabin exists. Okay, so let me do a DF of cabin exists. These people have cabin information. See, cabin numbers are there. Then I am doing another filter. What is the filter here? Age greater than 60. I am putting it in another data frame. So it is over 61. I'm doing a describe of this. So there are 1,309 rows total. In that we have two unique values, which is true or false, because this output is nothing, but it is going to have true or false only. When I describe that, it says there are two kinds of values available, true or false. Then, what is more? False is more or true is more? False is more. Now, Nitya will tell you what is the false. I see 1276. What does the number 1276 mean?
Frequency, sir.
Frequency. What frequency? Frequency of what?
The repetition of that false value.
Okay, very good. Technically, right? Now, what is the interpretation?
No, repetition of the same values are false.
Correct. You got it very right. But now I'm asking what is the meaning of that?
More,
Sorry?
more, sir.
No. So false is 1276 times present. Okay. What does it mean? So false of what? What was the condition? So there was a condition which we evaluated, and is true or false is
Age.
age. What?
Age is not greater
Age is
not greater than 60.
age is less than or equal to 60.
Less than.
Less than or equal to 60 is the
Yes,
condition. So that means total we have 1,309 people. Among them, 1,276 people have ages up to 60. The remaining people, whatever the number, those are the people who are aged more than 60. Okay. Now, I'm again applying the filter and then viewing this filter. So these are the people who are aged more than 60. Okay. Now these people, I'm doing it. Now let's look at this. I used to describe earlier. That time the describe showed something different, and this time the describe is showing something different. Okay? Look at this. The describe here, right, is called over 60 underscore 1. Now, the describe apply பண்ணணும். அங்க பண்ணும்போது இது மட்டும் தான் வருது. ஆனால் இங்கே பண்ணும்போது ஃபுல் காலம்ஸ் வருது. இடத்துல டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். Okay, so the next one. You see everything. All the columns are there. Mean, median, mode, எல்லாமே இருக்குது. Now, what is the difference? Right? Now, let's go back and compare these two programs statements. Okay, here I am comparing age. Age is greater than 60. The output is true or false. So age, only the age column is taken, and the age column alone, each values true or false on மட்டும் ஸ்டோர் ஆகிருக்கு. ஓகேவா? அதுக்கு டிஸ்கிரைப் அப்ளை பண்ணா what would we get? Count மட்டும்தான் வரும். வேற வராது. It's a non-numerical value. Okay, let me show that visually for you. Okay, first one is I am doing DF age greater than 60. Now let's say if I put this in A. Okay, so what would A contain now? A would contain age false, true, etc. Okay. DF, this is what age A contains. Now let me take one B. Now B contains all the columns. One of them is age, and this age will be greater than 60. You see the difference between these two filters? So first filter only takes one column, that column எந்த column evaluate பண்றோமோ அதுக்கு filter போட்டா அந்த column மட்டும் true or false value மட்டும்தான். And you add one more DF, அங்க எங்கெல்லாம் true இருக்கோ அதுக்கு whole information is there. Now if you give describe for this, you will have count, unique, etc. Maximum frequency, etc. Why? Because this is non-labeled. If you apply describe to this, it filters numeric columns. And for those numeric columns, it is going to do mean, median, standard deviation, 50th percentile, 25th percentile, 75th percentile, etc. Minimum, maximum for numerical columns. So that is the difference between these two filters. Okay? Any question? So we are speaking about filtering a data frame. Now let's do another thing. So I am now displaying cabin access, cabin information equivalent of already saw. So if I display cabin information, these are the people who are cabin information. And these are the people who are more than the age of 60. Okay. I have I filtered two data sets. The original data set is a subset. Okay. So one of the subset is for containing people who are aged more than 60. The other subset contains people who have cabin. These are the people who are aged more than 60. Okay, this is completed. Now we are going to learn some operator called and or and or. So show some templates and sorry. Yes. We did and operator something that. Now we are going to use that somewhere and operator. So there are some values in this. Okay. True or false? It has only Boolean values. This data frame. First, I am taking df1a, a column. A column and the condition is good clear. Okay, I did not give any condition, but the data itself is true or false. அப்போ A வந்து ட்ரூவாக இருக்கிறத மட்டும் பிக் பண்ணும். ஓகேவா? A வந்து ட்ரூவாக இருக்கிறத மட்டும் பிக் பண்ணிக்கிறது. இது வந்து B ட்ரூவாக இருக்கிறத மட்டும் பிக் பண்ணிக்கிறது. ஓகே. Now this means OR. This straight line means OR. Now if you want to know where this straight line is, it is right below your heading key. Square bracket closing பக்கத்துல வந்து இந்த operator. Okay, so this on the right side of the keyboard, OR operator. Now what this OR operator does is either A இல்லைன்னா B வந்து ஏதாச்சும் ஒன்று ட்ரூவாக இருந்தாலும் it will work. So பாருங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோவில் ரெண்டுமே ட்ரூ, ஒன்று ட்ரூ ஒன்று ஃபால்ஸ், செகண்ட் ரோவில் ஒன்று ட்ரூ ஒன்று ஃபால்ஸ், தேர்ட் ரோவில் ஒன்று ட்ரூ ஒன்று ஃபால்ஸ். Okay, that means it is going to be true for everything. Yeah, at least one true or cover. Now let's say the last one now the A and false are last one. So last two becomes false because what is happening in the last two? Both A and B are false. If one of them is false, then it will be taken care of. The opposite of AND operator are all operators AND operator, ampersand sign, and the symbol. Okay, this is AND operator. AND operator will work on ரெண்டுமே ட்ரூவா இருக்கும். ஸோ that way இதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எதுவும் எந்த ரோலுமே ரெண்டுமே ட்ரூவா இல்லை. ஸோ இட் இஸ் ஒன்லி ஃபால்ஸ் ஃபார் எவ்ரிதிங். Everything is false. Now let's say first row we make A true, B also true. Okay. So then first row alone it works just true. This AND operator. Now let's look at this filter. Firstly, I am filtering A. A is true. What is the operator here after that? Anirudh? Or. Or operator. Or B is true. ரெண்டுல ஏதாச்சும் ஒன்று ட்ரூவாக இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ ரெண்டுல ஏதாச்சும் ஒன்று ட்ரூவாக இருக்குன்னா இந்த இதுதான் நம்மளுடைய டேட்டா. Let's look at this as a data. ரெண்டுல ஏதாச்சும் ஒன்று ட்ரூவாக இருந்ததுன்னா, if that is the check which I am doing, then இந்த மூணு ரோஸில் எத்தனை ரோஸ் வந்து ட்ரூவாக வரும்? எந்த டூ ரோஸு? First two வந்து ட்ரூ வரும். லாஸ்ட் இருக்கிற ஏன் ட்ரூ வராது? What is the problem with the last row? Last row அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இருக்கிற row என்ன வித்தியாசம்? Sorry?
Last row முன்னாடி இருக்கிற row help us.
வித்தியாசம். லாஸ்ட் ரோல என்ன வேல்யூ இருக்கு? என்ன வேல்யூ இருக்கு லாஸ்ட் ரோல? என்ன வேல்யூ இருக்கு லாஸ்ட் ரோல?
A ல சிம்பிள்.
சாரி,
இந்த வேல்யூ இப்படி சொல்றது.
நீங்க எது லாஸ்ட் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தீங்க?
ட்ரூ ஆர் ஃபால்ஸ்.
ஓகே, சரி பாருங்க. இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோ. ஓகே, ட்ரூ ட்ரூ. A ட்ரூ, B ட்ரூ. இது செகண்ட் ரோ. A is true, A is false, B is true. And the last two is A is true, B is false. So or condition use பண்ணுறேன்னா இடத்துல ஒன்று ட்ரூவாக இருந்தால் கூட it will work. So எல்லா ரோஸ்லையுமே குறைஞ்சது ஒன்றாச்சு ட்ரூவாக இருக்கு. So this will filter all such rows. All the rows are filtered. Because this is OR condition. So that way, so now let's go back to the original data. Sasi could tell me what this data is going to do. I mean this statement is going to do.
So the age is greater than 60. Compared the age is 60 to 5.
Age is
Between the values are displayed. Sorry.
so this is age greater than 60 in the
Greater than 60 and age is less than 5.
Right. So we are then
Both between the values are displayed.
no between the values is display. Between the values display are either age 60 மேல இருக்கிற display ஆகும் 5 கீழ இருக்கிற
Yes. Killer values.
Yeah. So what that means is now we are filtering people who are really young, ரொம்ப சின்ன பசங்க டைட்டானிக்ல பண்ணுங்க, then வயசான 60க்கு மேல இருக்கவங்க, அந்த ரெண்டு கேட்டகரி சேர்த்து ஃபில்டர் பண்ணுங்க. And displaying that these are the people. Look at this age. ரொம்ப சின்ன வயசுல இருக்கவங்க, ரொம்ப பெரியவங்க இருக்காங்க, 60க்கு மேல இருக்காங்க. Okay. Now let's look at AND operator. So AND operator வந்து ரெண்டுமே ட்ரூவா இருந்தா தான் ஒர்க் ஆகும். Okay, so அப்போ இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோல ஒன்று ஃபால்ஸ் ஆகுது, செகண்ட் ரோல ஒன்று ஃபால்ஸ் ஆகுது, தேர்ட் ரோல ரெண்டுமே ட்ரூவா இருக்கு. So AND operator would return the value that last row alone is true. So last row alone is true. And we can filter those values. Only the true values are filtered here. The values, the rows now, A is true, B is also true. We are filtering out those rows. So that is the second row, the last row. Okay. So let us now look at like in Python. We already saw that Python and the R we use the words and or. Okay, but in Pandas and we use ampersand and R we use the R symbol, the keystroke. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
When we use operations for two different columns, the operation takes place row wise, no sir, not column wise. I mean it takes place in the axis one.
I'm not getting that question.
There are two different columns A and B.
Okay.
You are doing arithmetic operation for both. The result will be printed along row wise.
Look, if you are referring to this is not arithmetic operation, this is a comparison operation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now let's look at it, how this is going to work. A, B. Okay, so now let's do this. Age, the one is fair. So I am saying age should be greater than 60 and the fair should be less than 100. Average. Okay, I have two conditions for two different columns. The first thing we have to look at is like what are the, let me mark the column the rows where age is greater than 61. Let's say this is. Now, and or operator, and this is and operator. This is or, this and. Okay, now I have to find the twos. So let's see. So where will be true here? Okay, so what now happens is the first row it goes is checks whether age is greater than 60 years. What is one that it is true, right? So this is true. Then the second row, age is not greater than 60, fair is also not greater than is not less than 100. So it is false. Then age is greater than 60 here. So 1 will equal on the correct order to write it. So this is false, true, false, true. This is how it works. Now let's take care of this using AND operator. So AND operator means both should be true. So this is false, this is false, this is true, this is false, this is true, this is false, this is true. Are you clear? How the two columns are compared?
Yes, sir.
So in the difference எங்க வருதுன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, let's look at the difference. So this is one place where it is different, where an and and are. Okay. So the next difference, there is no other different yes. That's how the statement was. Any questions before we move on? Sashi, you got it. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
Okay, so let me check if there is some people for that. If that is the case, I give you some exercise questions. Okay, so we have here computers, we could practice. So this is what we are going to do. Okay, so we are going to go through Pandas, whatever that we have learned, and we will practice. I give you the questions right now. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Firstly, as we step into Pandas, do not wait for them to give you assignment questions, okay? Because it works differently. This isn't an open world. Okay? Because until now, உங்களோட functions தான் கற்றுக்கிறதுக்கு நிறைய questions இருக்கு. But when you get into Pandas, you have to use, your approach to be different. So you go to Kaggle.com. Okay? So where is this place? So this is where you do all your projects and everything. Kaggle.com. Okay. Now I go to Kaggle.com and then you can download any data set you want. There are multiple data sets here. So for example, let's say I want to download this data set. So you will download as a zip. So you get the scenes before. Okay, this is a good data set. So you can download some data sets like this and start working. Okay, so that's how it is. So now what I'm going to do is let's move for now freeze this data set. I'm going to know people who are online, stay on the call. Everybody stay on the call. Okay? So the folks who are taking in the computers, if you go to computer, there will be 4 different computers. It's preferable that you carry your earphones in your computer. So because they are not speakers. If you have earphones, you can directly plug in, right? And then connect. You can start using. So if you go to your inbox, your calendar, you have this link. Join this link. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be giving all the instructions. Okay, does that sound fine? The class is not getting over and obvious. Right? I'm going to be online with you. I'm going to give you instructions and what you are going to do, not talk about it. So till what we are. Shall we do that? Alright. I will connect in here. You understand?